Welcome to What's Going On, the weekly podcast and videocast of First United Methodist Church in Yankton, South Dakota. Hi everybody, this is Pastor Katie, and I am so glad that you've joined us today for our episode of What's Going On. Now, I sometimes film these episodes out of order, and so this week I kind of was prepping you that this would be the week that we would interview the directors of the nonprofits that we are working with our missions this month, but that is not true. I recorded those episodes this week, but they are actually going to be next week's What's Going On episode, and so make sure you check back here next week for a very special, albeit a little bit longer episode where we'll be visiting with the Missouri Valley Pregnancy Resource Center founder and executive director, as well as the executive director of the River City Domestic Violence Center. That'll be a really special episode. But you'll see in a minute why it was so important that we had this episode today, because we've got something super exciting to share with you, and we want to make sure that we get it out as soon as we can. So I hope you enjoy this week's episode. All right, well, welcome to this week's episode of What's Going On. I'm Pastor Katie here at Yankton First United Methodist Church, and today I am joined with our children's coordinator and our youth coordinator, the same person, Tiffany Beste. Tiffany, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to bring you back. I hope that you become a regular fixture on the podcast, actually.
Well, hopefully the others listening do too, and they don't get tired of hearing me talk.
So yeah, I think that's the first kind of big news that we have, is that starting January 1st, you became our youth coordinator as well. So congrats on the new position.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it. It's been fun.
Yeah, so basically, you kind of oversee any of the ministries that are happening with our children and our youth. So that's the Sunday school packets, that's youth group. I'm doing confirmation. If I could hand that off to you, I wouldn't. Actually, I love it. So,
Good.
And so it's keeping you pretty busy, along with still teaching at the school.
Right. Yep. But it's still very manageable. And prior to taking over in the leadership role, I was helping Julie and Gina this fall as well. So it's really looking very similar to that right now. The three of us just kind of tag team through some lessons, and I'm the one kind of determining what those lessons might be, but they have been phenomenal and continuing to help even once I took over. But it's just Wednesday nights from 7 to 8, and we are continuing each week since Christmas break. We've added a few more kids every week, and that's kind of the goal, is to continue to see it grow. Sometimes I have these dreams that it's grown so big that we're struggling to manage the COVID things, but I'm like, no, that's a good dream. We'll figure that out if we need to. We do. We got lots of room that we can move into. And I think, one of the things that we've done in the past few years is our youth group has kind of become one group. And I think ideally down the road, we would like to probably see it become a middle school and a high school youth group again, just because, there are topics that are discussed that I think high school kids would like dig into a little bit deeper. And for the middle school kids, we might keep it a little bit lighter. But for the time being, we're going to keep it with one group until it does grow to that level. But it's 6th through 12th grade, and we would love to have any kids, or if you have a child out there in those grades, we would love to have them join us. And we also have a little promotion going on over the course of the spring, where every time a child attends, their name goes in a drawing. And if they bring a friend with them, their friend's name goes in the drawing and their name goes in again. And we're just going to give some things away at the end of the spring. We've talked about an aquatics park pass. That's the new thing coming to Yankton for the summer. So we're going to give somebody a pass to that. And we had the kids brainstorm other ideas. They talked about Amazon gift cards and Visa gift cards and Xbox gift cards. So we're going to kind of see how many kids we have in the pool at the end of the spring, but we will have some drawings for those types of things. So the sooner you start coming and the more often you come, the more your name will be in the drawing. So we just would like to encourage you to start attending if you haven't been.
Our confirmation students also are encouraged to attend youth group, and that goes toward their confirmation participation, which is part of the requirements for that as well. So hopefully we're going to have a strong group of 8th graders in youth group as well, which will be fun.
I think that will, and I think that that'll be important going into next year, because we really want to be holding on to them when they go on to high school. And right now I have I like the connection that I have between the kids I'm teaching in school and those being the same kids that are coming to youth group. And I appreciate that we kind of see each other in multiple areas. And I know that that is an area that won't be the same next year, but I just think we want to get these middle schoolers coming in now while I'm still teaching them, and hopefully they'll continue to come back next year when they're freshmen. So the stronger this 8th grade group can be this year, the stronger they'll be next year as freshmen.
It makes a big difference, being able to be in person again. I think
Definitely.
helps in having the kids be here and being able to see each other and relate to each other for sure.
And and I can just tell over the last 3 weeks, every time we go away and come back, there's this sort of comfort we have to regain every time. And last week, our 3rd week back, the kids are just becoming more comfortable, and they're saying their thoughts, and they're expressing their ideas, and that's what we really want to have happening there. Yes, the adults are there to like give it direction and tell the kids kind of what we're going to be discussing, but we really want the kids having the discussions. So we're glad we're back in person. We're planning to stay in person through the remainder of the year. And I think that that will help just the kids feel more comfortable while they're there. And then our numbers continue to rise while we're there too.
Well, and on top of that, we've got some really fun things to look forward to with the youth group.
Yes, we do. So I was kind of doing some thinking. We just finished a 6-week series about leadership, and it's being a positive leader amongst your peers, and of course through that leadership, also being a leader for Christ. And about 6 years ago now, we had a youth member named Brady Hale, part of our youth group. He graduated from Yankton High School. And he has gone on to be a punter for the SDSU football team. And so all the youth in Yankton know who he is, and you know that he's kind of our little local celebrity. And he's now back teaching at Yankton High School. And I just kind of shot him an email the other day, and I said, how would you feel about coming and talking to the youth, kind of being removed a little bit now, but about your experiences as a leader, whether it would be in the classroom, on the field, or as a leader for Christ. And I'm assuming he had involvement up at the FCA chapter at SDSU. I know the football team does a phenomenal job of being active in that. So I'm kind of hoping that Brady will come on February 10th from 7 to 8 youth group times and just talk to the kids a little bit about, you know, when he was in middle school, what his approach to leadership was, and it may be how that grew over time, going through high school, going through college, and now as a teacher. And just the little things that they can be doing right now, whether they're in middle school or high school, to help lead their peers positively or lead their peers closer to Christ. And that's kind of a hard thing for this age group to do, to step outside their comfort zone. But I think hearing Brady talk about it and maybe some of the strategies he used for it will kind of make them go, well, if he can do it, I can do that. So, you know, I sent him, we covered 6 different kind of words during our leadership series, and I sent him those words, and I said, you know, just kind of talk about these and yourself. And I think just having Brady come will help, you know, will help bring some kids in, and hopefully help them to understand how they can become that type of leader, because Brady is, I mean, people know who he is, and he has always lived a good life and through Christ. And we're just going to hope that he can come maybe explain how our younger kids can start doing that as well.
And to have someone who, you know, literally came from here, like,
Yeah,
you know, I
I
guess
think that's pretty cool.
as an SDSU, you can go anywhere from here. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what maybe we'll have a youth group motto. You can go anywhere from our youth group. And that's, yeah, I think it'll be really neat having him come back.
yeah, well, that's super exciting. So that's February 10th, and that's for the youth group. One of the things I was going to say as you were talking, that you said it was hard for that age group to kind of be a leader for their peers. I think that's hard for any age group.
You're right. Yes. I agree with you 100%. And I just know my experiences. You know, I've been at the middle school now for 9 years. I just see it. It's always right there in front of me. And you're right. I don't know that it gets a whole lot easier as we get older, but some of the things that we talked about, little steps that they can take right now will hopefully become bigger steps as they get older. And yeah, I'll probably listen very intently to Brady myself, listening to some of the things that he has to say.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to be an adult volunteer for youth.
Yeah. Well, and definitely, I would say, you know, it's for a youth group, but it's kind of open. If somebody wants to come listen to Brady talk, I imagine he will have no problems with that, and we will find the room to make it happen.
That we will. That we will.
Yes.
And so that's a little bit. And then the other piece I want to plug really fast is that the camps are going to be open this summer.
Yes, very exciting.
Yay!
We definitely had kids that were considering signing up last year. I don't know that we ever got to that point because COVID kind of hit right in that time frame, but we knew kids were thinking about it. So yes, they're open. You can see the registrations online, and I plan to send something out to for sure our children's parents, kind of the main camps that are available for those age groups, and just a reminder that our church helps to cover the cost of those, half of the early bird price, and I think the early bird cutoff is April 30th. So the sooner we start planning, I think maybe you had mentioned numbers might be a little lower this year than they were previous.
Yep. So all the camps have stronger restrictions on them because they're still trying to abide by COVID considerations, and so probably this year more than any other year, the sooner you sign up, the better. But also know that you can feel safe about signing up. That they really have. I mean, that's what they've been doing this year is working. How can we make camp happen in a safe way?
Yeah.
And so they've spent a lot of time on that. And so camp is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, and so I'm super excited, and I hope that we can send children and youth. And there are adult camps as well, and family
Yeah,
camps. I know
family camps.
do grandparents and me camps.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
I was really tempted to maybe tell my parents to go with my kids so I could have a week off. So
Well, and I'll tell you, my husband's mother has taken our kids several times. We have some cousins in Watertown. So the cousins come from Watertown and we come from Brookings or Yankton, and grandma comes from Brookings. And that's a really cool experience for all of them. So, yes, if there's grandparents out there that are willing to take their kids, that's a pretty neat opportunity for all of them.
and there's a few of those, and Lake Ponce
Yes.
would be the closest. I'm
Yep.
partial to Lake Ponce. That's where I worked for 5 years. I mean, I love all of our camps, but
Yeah. Well,
probably
and I did see too, I'm going to run it by our youth. I don't know for sure what their schedules will look like, but there's a couple weekend, Friday night, Saturday youth opportunities where I know that Lake Ponce's looking to help clean some things up over the summer with others not having been there. And it's super inexpensive, kind of because you're going to help clean things up. But there's two different weekends, and I'm going to run it by the youth if any of them would like to go up and help. So we're hopefully maybe can get our youth involved that way too. That's not till April or May, but it is early in the season where it is a get camp prepared for all the campers that are coming in.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just I love that we're kind of getting to get to do some of those fun things again.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting to do fun things again, the big reason that Tiffany is here today is because we've got big news for children's ministry.
Yes, we do. We're hopeful, anyways. So I sent out to the parents at the beginning of mid to beginning of January an email saying that we're going to try to bring children into the church in the month of February. And so we are fingers crossed that it's going to go well. And I do think it is the way we have it set up. We're not jumping right into it. It's not all the kids at once. It's not every week. We wanted to try some small groups, a couple different weeks in February. So Wednesday, February 10th, again, I think we're doing A through K or L. And then Wednesday, February 24th, we're going to do the remainder of the alphabet. And just small group, we're going to bring them in, do kind of some similar stories that we've been doing, do those same activities, some different crafts, some different lessons, some singing. But again, keeping it very safe. And this is kind of our seeing how it's going to go month. And if things go well in February, it might look the same in March, or maybe it will expand a little bit. It's just kind of, we have to see how February goes. So below us, there is a link that has a survey, and the survey is asking both, will you attend in February? And if so, which Wednesday? And it does indicate that if you can't attend on the Wednesday of your last name, you're welcome to sign up on the other Wednesday. We don't want to keep you from coming because of that. But it also asks if you still plan to not attend, because if you're not going to attend, we're going to deliver your packets just like we have previous to this month. So I want all parents, like I said, it's been sent in an email and it was sent as a remind message twice now, to fill out the survey regardless. And really, it doesn't matter to us what you decide. We just want to know if we want those packets to continue to go home, or if you're going to try to join us. And if you do join us, we are going to be masks required. We're going to have hand sanitizer. We're going to try to stay socially distanced, and just keep the kids as safe there as possible. We're also encouraging, if possible, for parents to attend with their child, just because the more parents we have on hand, the more we can keep everyone that's there safe. So we are excited about it. I can't believe, Katie, that it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
Like that we have not had these kids in the church together for almost a year. And I know we had Halloween, which was great, and we had the Christmas program, but it's just different when you have all the kids together in the church. So, if you want to come and you feel comfortable doing that, let us know, fill out the form. If you're not ready for that yet, we totally understand. Let us know that as well, and we'll send your packets to you. But we're definitely looking forward to February and to try to see how that works.
Yeah, so it should be again stated, it's not gonna look the same as 605 did
No,
last year.
no. Yeah, and it is going to be shorter too. On the form, it does say we're starting at 6:05. There will be no meal beforehand like previous, and we're only going to run until 6:45. So it's only 40 minutes. Again, shorter time frame. We just kind of want to see how that all works with the kids coming together. But we just wanted to give those who wanted to come into church an opportunity to do so. And so it will be shorter. We probably will not be in the sanctuary this go around. Probably just going to be in Wesley Hall. We're still going to have a projector with some music, and we'll play some songs, still do some activities and some crafts and that sort of thing. But it is a smaller, miniaturized version of what 605 used to look like. We will be back to normal someday. We just hope sooner rather than later.
So if you can fill out the survey before the beginning of February, if possible, that helps them to know how many packets they need to make to deliver to the families
Yes,
who will be home, and how many they can expect on those nights, the 10th and the 24th.
correct. Yep, that would be super helpful to us if you could fill out that survey basically before Monday, February 1st.
And again, we want to remind you that it is your choice as a family, and that we are going to meet you wherever you are and whatever the needs you have for your family. And so please hear this as, if you need to be home still, we are going to make sure that you're still connected. And if your family is ready to be here, then again, we're going to try to meet that need as best we can as well. So I'm really excited. I know the education team has been working really hard, and they did a big shift this fall to doing these at-home packets, and now to be able to bring it back in a safe way. I'm so proud of all the work that you all have been doing with that. It's incredible.
Well, and I'm incredibly thankful I have this wonderful group of women who kind of jumped on board when we started with 605, and they have stuck the course with me this year because these packets have quite a bit of stuff in them. And if it was up to me to just put all of that together, that would be quite a load right now. So they are phenomenal. And every night when we get together with the packets, everybody takes some to help disperse them, which again is incredibly helpful. So to those ladies out there that help me with this every month, you are very much so appreciated.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. Is there anything else that people should know about what's going on with children and youth in the church, or did we get
I
most?
think we got it. I think we covered it all. Just youth group Wednesday nights, 7 to 8 in person with masks. That will continue that way until we let you know anything different. And then packets will continue to go home for those that want to do it that way. Otherwise, check your emails, check your remind messages. It's all in there as far as how bringing kids into the church is going to work. And if you ever have any questions for me, typically my email and my phone number are posted most everywhere, so you can get a hold of me that way.
And also, you can call the church or let Tiffany know if you aren't on those remind for the youth, for the church,
Definitely.
for the children. Those are
Yeah.
good avenues to kind of know what's going on and to get the best updates, especially for children in youth ministry. So make sure that you are signed up for those.
And we can add those down below as well. We can add in the remind account information for the youth and the children. So if you're not receiving those remind messages, below this video, we'll have those posted as well.
So we will take all of that in the comments below. So,
Yes.
thank you so much, Tiffany, for joining me again. And like I said, I hope that you are a regularly reoccurring guest here on What's Going On.
Well, I love joining you, and yes, I assume that we will have several conversations moving forward.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us for this episode of What's Going On, a video and audio podcast of First United Methodist Church in Yankton, South Dakota. You can join us for worship Sundays at 10 a.m., either online at www.firstumcyankton.org or in person with our safety protocols in place. We do require mask and social distancing. We hope to see you in worship. God bless.